At the moment, it's a very interesting time for the Australian economy with a lot going on. Inflation is higher, rates are rising, and that's likely to slow economic growth. At the same time, we've seen the unemployment rate fall to a 48-year low of 3.5%, and we've still got almost 500,000 job vacancies in the economy. That suggests we're going to see the labour market continue to tighten, and we're now forecasting the unemployment rate to fall below 3% by early next year. And it's really hard to see the Australian economy deteriorating sharply when most people who want a job either have one or can find one pretty quickly. What's really positive about the labour market is even with unemployment falling to a 48-year low of 3.5% and underemployment falling to a post-GFC low as well, participation, which measures those people who are employed or available to work and actively looking for a job, is at a record high. What's been really interesting is that it's female participation that has picked up really strongly since the onset of the pandemic. And we think one of the reasons for that is lower barriers to finding employment, particularly for women with young children. So that shift to remote working and more flexible arrangements is actually enabling more women in particular to actually work. There are 480,000 job vacancies across Australia, and we've seen increases in the job vacancy rate across industries and geographies as well. So even as demand growth starts to slow under that weight of higher inflation and rates, it's going to take some time for it to actually put upward pressure on the unemployment. Borders are now open, so we're getting skilled migrants, temporary visa holders, students, backpackers arriving in Australia, and they are adding to the supply of workers. But they're also adding to the very strong demand side. So it is going to take quite some time for that gap between supply and demand to close. As such, we're actually now expecting that unemployment will fall below 3% by early next year, which would be a huge milestone. A labour market as tight as this makes it easier for people who usually face higher barriers to finding employment, like lower skilled young people, long-term unemployed, to actually find a job. So that's a really good thing. Although businesses are facing challenges in finding workers at the moment, with about 88% reporting that labour is a constraint on output, if more people are in jobs, that means there's more income, which means that there's more demand for business goods and services than there would be otherwise. We are expecting wage growth to accelerate from the second half of this year, but wage growth is currently not a key driver of inflation in Australia. Thank you.